2 minutes before we start. All right, so now we start to see attendees joining. So we now see 1/3 of the participants joining. Probably should we wait for Western Stephen? So should we wait for another 2 to 3 minutes to get more people and then we start?
Yeah. That's true.
Let's give another 2 minutes. Just to make sure people see, people knows that they are entering the right webinar. All right, now we have half of the people joining. All right, I see my partner Chini joins as well.
Hi.
So I think we now have around like 1/2 of the participant joining. Probably let's give him 1 more minute and then we can start. Should we start? Stefan?
Yes, sure. Let's start now. So
okay.
Welcome everyone to join this webinar. So we are very glad that for this meeting you have a joint collaboration with 3 different parties. The first one, as you can see on my corner. Okay, the FinTech Association of Hong Kong is one of the largest FinTech professional association representing the senior executive, founders, and consultant academic in Hong Kong in FinTech space. Okay, and then we also invited two speakers today. So first one is Wes Chen. Okay, hello, Wes. Okay, so Wes actually is also, you can see from our tonight theme is about Metaverse. So we definitely could invite some FinTech or Metaverse professional. So for Wes Chen, he have over 10 years of investment management experience in Asia. Okay, and also he also now is the portfolio manager of an AI fund. And also, he also founded several companies, including FinTech, blockchain, and also I know that he recently also started some NFT and blockchain projects as well. Okay, so in representing the Algo Challenge Association is also a non-profit organization focusing to cultivate next generation and talent development of future FinTech talents. And lastly, you can see a very handsome guy, Hardy, who is our main speaker of tonight. So we talk about Metaverse. Many people have different interpretations and have different wordings about that. And definitely, we have to find someone with real investment experience in Metaverse space, not just about talking about Bitcoin, but actually someone with real project experience. So Hardy, he will share about more his background later, but before he joined this company, previously he was a fund manager with over 10 years experience looking into tech investment. And now he's a co-founder of Altive, is an alternative investment platform. And also, apart from that, he also had investment experience or project consulting experience about crypto, NFT, and Metaverse infrastructure. So later on, we have Q&A session. Definitely, you could ask question about more in depth later. But you can, I see that Hartley has prepared a very informative PowerPoint, which will share all his experience and knowledge about the Metaverse infrastructure, NFT, crypto, etc. Okay, so before Hartley to actually start his sharing, okay. So firstly, so you have. For our presentation, if you have any question want to ask, you may use the chat function to leave question to us. So at the end of the session, we invite them to answer your questions. Okay, so this is the basic one done. So before we pass to Hardy, so let's pass to Wes to introduce another co-organizer of tonight, Algo Challenge Associations. Okay, let's pass to Wes.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Rex. I'm the founder and chairman of Algo Challenge Association, ACA, and also ACA is the today organizer. And actually, we are a non-profit organization, and we aim to find the programming talents in the world. And also, actually, we are the organization to host algo training contests around the world. And we provide education trainings to all the students. And also we provide a career platform such that we will match the talents with some asset management firms and also IT firms. And actually, our organization already organized free contests in the past. And actually, you may ask, what's the relationship between today's topic and also between Metaverse and also algo trading? Actually, I will show you some technology, and you will find that actually algo can be implemented in a blockchain. Actually, we have organized a free contest. Last year, October 2020, we organized the first contest in Hong Kong. Over 200 students participated. And last year, we organized another contest in Singapore. And now we organized the global contest. And here we can see that we are the first organization to use blockchain and NFT in our contest. How did we do that? Actually, the contest is now ongoing. It's not completed yet. For the contest, there are 3 stages. For the first one is the proposal writing stage. Actually, the students and the participants already submitted their reports. And also they have already submitted their code in our online platform. Actually, the whole contest is an online contest. And third one is the presentation. And now, actually, we are in the live trading period. The live trading period is from February to end of March. Actually, this contest is supported by Invest Hong Kong, the Hong Kong government, Hong Kong Science Park, Cyberport, CFA, IFTA, HAI Lab. And also we have partners like the cloud partners, IBM, and also we have the blockchain technology from Phil. And we have different asset manager sponsors like Topaz and Modus. Actually, Topaz is uplifting their license to do some crypto. And actually, I believe that more and more asset management firms will uplift their license to do more crypto or metaverse projects. And for the live trading period, actually now the teams, actually the algos are doing the trade. You can see that now the first leading algo is called One Punch Man. They are earning 20% actually in 3 weeks. And then the second one is Prentice. They are doing 5%. And the most importantly is about the blockchain. This is our contest is the first ever worldwide online contest using blockchain. The trade records are recorded in the IOTA. And so each trade has a timestamp, and also the trade records are recorded. And you can see, for example, I click here. We jump to the IOTA Explorer, and this is the hash. And this hash representing a trade like 6:15, and there's a trade is Euro US dollar, and it's a buy. The volume is 1%, and the executed price is 1.12. So actually, the blockchain verify the performance of the algo. So the trade record is audited in a blockchain, and also after the 2-month paper trading, we will put them in NFT. So the NFT will put in OpenSea, of course, and then if you buy the NFT, that means you have the access right or use rights to use the algo. When you connect your Interactive Brokers account, that means you can use the signals to trade your accounts. So this is the first contest using blockchain and NFT. And now we have some demo here, like the cat. Actually, the profile pic doesn't relate to any algo. Actually, the algo is just encrypted text. And then I just randomly pick my cat and then put it as a cover of the NFT. So when you have the NFT in your crypto wallet in MetaMask, that means when you go to the platform, then you are entitled to the signals of the algo. So this is what we do now, ACA. And you may ask, what does the One Punch Man trade in order to earn so much? Actually, they did one trade, which is shorting the Turkey currency, because the Ukraine crisis, and then the currency dropped a lot, and because of this trade, it becomes the leading algo. And the other one is trading the euro and Japanese yen because of the Fed rate hike expectation. So they trade in and out. So actually, they are doing well with a good Sharpe ratio. So let's see, because actually this page is will update every day, and the track record is on blockchain to verify. And so let's see what will happen at the end of March. And then the champion algo will put in the NFT in OpenSea. So this is how algo trading apply in Metaverse and also the blockchain technology. And this is one of the application. And now I will pass to Hardy. He will talk more about the investment opportunities in Metaverse and crypto. Hardy, please.
Sounds good. Thanks, Wes, for the inspiring sharing. I think well, that's very amazing, especially for the champion for now is actually short-term Turkish currency, and I would say probably they are the only few happy investor for today. Well, today we I guess the major topic is talking about like within the private market, like what is the hidden investment opportunities in crypto and obviously metaverse building block. Well, due to the market situation of today, instead of going through all the slides before that, probably it's easier to open it with a whole. So well, it's very I guess unexpected that Russia is actually attacking Ukraine, and obviously cryptocurrency is having a major drop over the night. Well, I guess for everyone that trade crypto will know how HODL means. Well, originally it was a misspelling coming from whole, but now I think it just stands for hold on for dear life, and probably that would be the best recommendation for most of the among the crypto community. This word up here on my WhatsApp and Telegram more frequent than Russia and Ukraine for today. So well, but I guess like cryptocurrency is always volatile, and that's probably also one of the reasons why our major firm philosophy saying that, well, is always you can cryptocurrency day trading somehow is more like casino because of the volatility. For us, we believe the real opportunity actually lie in the casino itself. So instead of walking into the casino and try to do trading, try to win some money, we would tend to buy in the casino by itself. Where we think that will be a more sustainable and less volatile investment compared to the day trading by itself. So with that, I guess it'll be good to talk about who we are. So Altive stands for alternative investment. Alternative, you break down the middle is Altive. So for some of the investors, probably alternative investment is something new to you to them. But actually, it's not that difficult to understand. For most of the investment that people talk about in the retail market, what we call the public investment, those include stock and bonds. Anything outside that in the private market is what we call alternative investment. In the firm itself right now, we got something like 500 million AUM across 12 cities with 450 distributors and 80 professionals. A very short intro in terms of alternative investment or private market investment. Well, just like cryptocurrency, traditional investment, stock and bonds, they all have a very high volatility. Versus in private market, things tends to be more stable. They're less volatile. The major drawback for that stability and uncorrelated return is probably coming from the liquidity profile, because the traditional investment you can go in and out, not even daily. You can do it hourly or even in every given second. For alternative investment, usually there's a lockup period for most of the investment, but then this lockup period also comes with a lockup premium, where it will means that most of the time, if you look into the private market in the last 20 years, well, there's an index called the Private Equity Select Index. Since 2014, it actually outperformed the MSCI by large. So it was like up 3 times in the last less than 20 years time. And obviously, not only talking about spectacular return, the diversification element is also very important. I tend to say people always talk about diversify through bond, equity, or even cryptocurrency. But then today is a very good example. All these things fall together. So that's probably not the best diversification we can find in the in public market. So in private market, well, if you look into the price for like private credit, private REITs for this month, I would suspect that most of them, they will tend to be quite stable compared to the public market. And obviously, private market, if you look into on the equity side, most of the gain is actually captured before the IPO. So it's actually captured in the private market. Facebook, they did like 1,200 return for the private investor before they actually go IPO in 2012, and that only comes with 8 times return, even if you buy into the IPO. So more company is getting to IPO later at a larger market cap, which means that more opportunity is now in the private market side. And to some of your surprise, actually the private market is bigger than you think. The private market is actually 2 times bigger than the bond and equity market. So well, I guess this is a hidden gem of in the in-store market, which is not available to the retail market. And I guess Altive is here to basically break down all these opportunity into smaller pieces with 100K investment. You can invest into some of these best private market opportunity. Well, I guess that's enough talking on Altive. And by the way, everyone is welcome to go to altive.com to find out more about Altive. But only professional investor can register for an account, and obviously that comes with a lot of other benefits as well. So now comes to the major part about cryptocurrency and Metaverse ecosystem. To start with, well, if it's a physical session, I would like to make it more interactive. But it's a virtual session, so I'm going to ask questions and assume someone would answer on the screen by themselves. What will be the first thing you think about crypto, or your mom and dad would think about crypto? It's probably BTC. And for Bitcoin or BTC, if you look into the trading volume or the market cap of Bitcoin, is actually quite amazing. It's actually hitting over $1 trillion by last year, and it was like 1/10 of the gold market, or 1/5 of the Japan GDP. Or basically the equal to the market cap of Tesla. By the way, Tesla price is also dropping. So now very soon, maybe cryptocurrency worth 2 times of Tesla. With that, I think well, I think what changed for the last 5 years is that 5 years ago, people were still Bitcoin. Hey, this thing is not going to be sustainable. This thing is going to be is this thing going to exist in 10 years time? We don't know. But now, as the ecosystem becoming like 1/5 of the Japan GDP and bigger than most of the smaller country GDP, I think this thing is going to sustain here for the next 10 years. Whether it's going to hit 100,000 is we're not, is a very difficult decision prediction to make. And the duration of time to get to 100,000 is also so difficult prediction as well. But if you look into the number of coins, not only talking about Bitcoin is just one coin, right? If you look into the number of the cryptocurrency in the world, you see a more sustainable trend and more predictable trend in terms of the number of cryptocurrency. And by the way, all this cryptocurrency behind them, it represents an idea. It represents the ecosystem, right? So when with this growth in cryptocurrency number, which we now see a much bigger ecosystem compared to say 5 years ago. 5 years ago, 2017, you only got like 600 ecosystem or 600 idea within this ecosystem. Now there are 4,000 of it. So 4,000, I think if you think about like 4,000 company, this now is probably bigger than a lot of the startup or company size within a lot of different cities. So that's so I do think now we are hitting a tipping point within this blockchain ecosystem or cryptocurrency ecosystem. Then, well, Metaverse. I mean, like what 5 years ago, I never heard about this term. This term really emerged in the last 2 years. But if you look into the history of Metaverse, right, it actually grown together with the cryptocurrency along the way. So starting from 2003, you have Second Life release, and then that was for people as old as me, you have chance to play it. It was literally a 2D environment for you to play this Second Life. You don't expect this that world is going to replace part of your life in the real world. But then you see throughout the time, like with different games like World of Warcraft, different like Fortnite, all this like game that it changed how people think about games, right? So people think about games, it's like RPG games. It's going to take like maybe just for leisure. Versus in Fortnite, there are millions of people to attend a virtual live session, live music session on Fortnite. So it was basically becoming a very important part of the life for some of the people. And then if you look into the world right now, say on Sandbox, like a lot of different companies are buying land on Sandbox. And by the way, JP Morgan just bought a land on Sandbox to try to build their own boutique on Sandbox. So I would say now Sandbox was a game. Well, it was in the game category, but now this thing is now becoming a much bigger part of people's life. And I would say that's really the meaning of Metaverse. Metaverse is the virtual life for you in the blockchain system. So, but then we're not there yet. This is what people will think about Metaverse. If you're talking about like virtual world, this capture is coming from the Ready Player One, which was one of my favorite movie. You wake up, you enter this capsule, or you wear this mask, this VR mask, and then you enter into the Metaverse. You can do anything there. But then this is actually what Metaverse is about today. It was, I would say, the graphic of Sandbox right now is even worse than Roblox or even worse than Fortnite. So how are we going to change from here to there, from Ready Player from Sandbox right now to Ready Player One? And that, I think, is the #1 key criteria for us to think about investment opportunity. What Ready Player One presenting in the movie is actually the expectation of Metaverse in, say, 5 years' time. And someone would doubt that whether that could be something in 3 years' time. Well, again, it's always difficult for us to predict the real tipping point and whether Sandbox will become that in 2 or 3 years' time or 5 years' time. But the direction can be wrong. And if we can figure out what's the world today versus what is the world 5 years later, all this difference is going to be investment opportunity. Here, let's drive a little bit deeper, right? So this is also extraction from the JP Morgan Metaverse report. And by the way, we do have that copy of research here, that copy of that research paper here. So if you want, please register your account, and then we'll send you the report. So if you look into another key phase for Metaverse is Web 3.0, right? Basically, it is now become more like Web 3.0 equal to Metaverse or vice versa. So if you look into Web 3.0 versus slash Metaverse versus Web 2.0 / today, the major difference that we'll see is actually in many different layers. In terms of organization structure, now is centralized on. So, for example, you go to the social media is basically owned by Facebook. Versus in Metaverse or like Web 3.0, we will expect a lot of this organization is going to be community governed. It's going to be decentralized. So DAO is a very major theme. There is a lot of latent token is going to be issued. If you look into the data storage, previously everything is stored on Facebook Facebook center, for example. Now it can potentially be decentralized. At least the assets ownership can be decentralized. Platform, well, I do think in the future, all this metaverse can happen on apps, right? But now I think most of it is actually quite similar to 2.0. Payment instruction, obviously, we use PayPal or this debit card, credit card payment in the traditional 2.0. You go to e-commerce store, you buy something, you have a credit card. In Web 3.0, that's going to be MetaVerse or this like crypto wallet, right? Digital ownership, very different as well. Previously is all licensed with leased with within the platform, within Facebook, within Google. Now it's going to be NFT, and it's good. The storage is going to be decentralized. So if you see like the comparison of all these different themes, a lot of it is actually coming from the word centralized to decentralized. And again, like for the last 5 years, all this tech giant is going to face one critical criticism. Right, it's basically saying that they control everything. The world is monopolized by all these different tech giants. You don't have a control. You don't have a say. They're going to feed information to you, and whatever the information they feed you, they change your mind. Right? In Web 3.0 or Metaverse, lots of the things is going to be more democratized and more decentralized as well. And I guess this is the key difference between Web 2.0 and 3.0. The ecosystem, well, there's a lot to cover within the ecosystem. From transaction, you have different coins, to smart contract like decentralized application, apps. You have a lot of chain, the DeFi, NFT platform, GameFi. To the next page, like centralized exchange, future exchange, wallet, layer 2 scaling platform, crypto saving account. Well, as you can see, all these different things are very different from Web 2.0. So in 2.0, you have your Google, you have your Visa and Master. In Web 3.0, all these things is going to have a substitute to that. And a lot of these substitute is going to be decentralized. Well, without going deep into one by one, which would take, I could talk days on these things, but I guess it's much easier for us to consolidate some of the key investment themes that we will see, right? So there are, for this webinar, we prepare five themes to share within this era of Metaverse. Let's go to the first one. Well, as we mentioned in the previous section, one of the key things that anyone can notice from this the difference between what people think about Metaverse versus today is the graphic. Now you access the sandbox with your desktop with the, I would say, sheet graphic. In the future, what you're going to enter a Metaverse is going to be a much more VR driven and much more real or 3D driven environment. And with that, well, we don't have to walk into, we don't have to jump into details of how this thing work, but there are three things that you will have to pay attention to. One is obviously the AR VR console. If any of you haven't bought a Oculus to play around, I would strongly suggest that. The experience is phenomenal. The infrastructure, and most importantly, I want to highlight here is the content creation. And there is a company that we really want to highlight, which is Epic Games. So within the world, you have if anyone play games, you understand that engine of the game is very important. And within and on Earth, there are two major game engine that provide the best quality of graphic in terms of 3D. One is Unity, listed in the US. The other is Epic Games, and their Unreal Engine. If any of you watch The Matrix 3, is actually made by Unreal Engine. It's a shit movie, pardon my language, but the graphic of the Matrix 3 is actually very very phenomenal. And I would say that is a strong proof of how good the engine of Unreal Engine and Epic Games is. So if you believe that 10 years later we are going to enter Ready Player One world, the world needs Epic Games, Unreal Engine to get access to that world. And obviously this is one of the company that we actually invested in. Second trend, there's one trend number. But anyway, the second trend I think is the social. So social network, it will be very different. Previously, what we do, we just remember like how social media emerged, right? Previously, if you as old as me, you try something called MSN, or you try something called ICQ, or you try something called Finsta. Then we switch to Facebook, then we switch to Instagram, and then TikTok. But in Metaverse, all these things is going to be very different, right? Because you're in the future, you're going to be in a VR environment. You don't really want to type. So Discord is going to be a very important element within that. And by the way, if anyone that try to mint an NFT, you must install Discord, because all this like NFT community, all these check within these NFT minting participant, they're all going to do it on Discord. And the live chatting function of Discord is actually amazing. That it means that within the game, when you're playing a game, you actually can talk to each other almost simultaneously. And that's it. That's creating real feeling of people living in the same world. So that social experience is going to be the key feature for Metaverse communication / social activity. And for Discord, well, as I mentioned, there's some emerge of a PC era to now Metaverse era. It was actually an old company. It was launched in 2012. But now, if any of you are a mom and dad, probably your kid is having a Discord account trying to talk to their friends in games, it's really become the new generation of the Metaverse era. And obviously, Discord is actually a company that Altive is investing as well. Trend 3, I would say most of the well, if you see how crypto emerged, right? 5 years ago, it was legal to trade crypto in China. 3 years ago, it started to become illegal. Now it's completely illegal. And if you look into other countries as well, all of them, they're trying to come out with regulations and try to control how people trade, how people own cryptocurrency or digital assets. So if you ask me, I would say governments always win. So especially when you look into the trend in cryptocurrency, a lot of the organization is actually, by organization, we're talking about traditional institutions, pension funds, hedge funds, investment banks. They're all getting into the cryptocurrency or Metaverse related ecosystem, and all of them, they have to comply with the regulations or the compliance. With that, I would say there are 3 trends that we should watch out. 1, regulated exchange will get institutional volume, which means that a lot of the volume is going to come in from institutions, and they are only going to trade with the regulated exchange. Second, crypto banks will emerge. Previously, you have all these like from HSBC, Centrada, JP Morgan, all these traditional banks. In crypto era, there's going to be crypto-friendly banks or banks that will only deal with crypto clients. Third, there will be lots of adjacent infrastructure. If any of you are in the finance industry, you know there's lots of, like, you have Bloomberg for information, you have Fundament to calculate your NAV, you have your compliance to check whether you're compliant, you have lending. All these different things is going to be coming out with the institutionalization of cryptocurrency. I'll give you some example, right? That sounds very great, right? So if you look into institutionalization, one of the key trends we mentioned is crypto banks. So there are there are 4 crypto banks in the world. Altive was very lucky to invest into one of them called Cyberbank. And all these banks, they're going to be very crypto friendly, meaning that now you actually can't transfer your cryptocurrency to HSBC. Within this bank, you can actually transfer your BTC to Cyberbank, for example. You mine some money from you mint an NFT, you can put it into HSBC, you can put it into Cyberbank. So these banks who are friendly with crypto, they're going to gain a lot of exposure in the future. Second, well, if people follow the regulation very closely, they will know that BlockFi is actually having a very large penalty coming from the state. But what does it mean? Penalty means that they finally settle all this dispute with government, right? So we do think BlockFi is going to be, together with Coinbase, is going to be some of the crypto institutions that can really comply with the US law. It means that you can place ad legally. Your customer would not have to worry about the regulation change. So the next day government is going to shut it down. That's not going to happen to BlockFi and Coinbase in the near future. And the earlier the crypto institutions going to get the license or get this comply with the regulations, the faster they can grow on the regulated space. Same thing for FTAs. I'm not sure whether you read the news. That the FTS has done a new fundraising with the US entity, and I would say that's actually a very strong sign for them to get comply with US regulations. And obviously, well, Altive actually invested into FTS as well, and then with the current downturn in cryptocurrency, we actually see some discount in FTS share, which means that it's actually quite, well, when market is falling, there's always opportunity for us to fish. Trend 4, NFT. I think everyone in this would know what's NFT. So, but then if you look into today, right, all this like from the 8 image to all this like artwork on OpenSea is now more like a monetization of your popularity. But in the future, or in the very near term future, I would say, it will become the proof of any of your digital assets. And for these, I think there are several companies that we are we pay close attention to. One is OpenSea, the second is Immutable Ace, the third is Soware. And obviously, well, the good thing about investing into these these NFT marketplace is that the volume is very transparent, and you can monitor the monitor the volume. That's trend 5, I would say. That's trend 4, I would say. Well, previously, as I mentioned, Sandbox was a game, but now, if you see, even Sun Hong Kai is buying the land there, trying to build their own property there. So now it's changed. GameFi is no longer mean games. It means part of your life. It means that it ownership within these digital assets or metaverse. So, well, a key company that I would watch out for is actually Animoca Brands. So that's actually the Hong Kong company. Well, I think every of us should be very proud of that. Thanks to Yassil. And I would say that's the biggest NFT or GameFi company in the world. And well, they're backed by SoftBank as well. Animoca, based on our understanding, they hold more than 10 billion worth of NFT and coins in the digital assets world. So that's definitely as a Hong Konger, I would back this company because this is actually getting more phenomenal in the crypto community. Trend 5, I promise you that's the last one, is decentralized finance. So previously we talked about, well, some of you may ask, say, hey, will you talk about following the regulations? Why do we go to DeFi? But remember, the key difference between the Web 2.0 and 3.0 is actually decentralization, right? Previously, everything is controlled within the banks. now everything can be decentralized. I think both regulated entity and decentralized entity would survive. And if you look into the total value locked in this DeFi project, last year is actually a very big year for DeFi. Now I think that trend is going to be sustainable. I know time is running out, but these are some of the defined opportunity that we see we're looking at in the market. And well, last time advertisement on Altive. So all these different private company, we're happy to discuss with you to understand for you to understand a little bit more on how to invest in this private company. And well, everything is available on Altive, and obviously we have some exclusive event as well as exclusive material for our members. So for example, we have a monthly investment trend deep dive, and in March the investment theme is going to be Metaverse. We're going to issue a deep dive paper into Metaverse investment trend as well, and that's also going to be March. So if you're interested in these things, please don't forget registry account in Altive.com. And remember, that's for professional investor only, and that means that you you have to have 8 million worth of HKD liquid assets. With that, enough advertisement, enough talking for me. I will pass it back to Stephen to talk about to go to the Q&A session.
Oh, thank you so much, Hardy. Thank you for very detailed presentations. So I wish everyone, so even if they don't have much background about Metaverse, after your very clear and structural presentation, they have better understanding about what it is. At the same time, we have over 200 participants tonight, and they have sent us a lot of questions, but I will consolidate and ask you some key questions now. Okay, so there are two questions first. So do you think the digital assets investment is a reliable investment for long term? And second question, we can see some resistance in the decentralization development from government. Some countries even banned crypto. How do you see this as an indication to the related investment?
Sure. So I think well, both of the questions are a very good question. The one of it, the first one, well, you see the safe investment. I would say some of them is, some of them they're not. How safe it is comes to two things. One, which wallet you use to hold them. I think for the first time that I bought into, I was trying to mint an NFT. I actually mint it as a fake website. So I lost something like $500 over that fraud. So it happens, and that's why I think I would recommend everyone to start your first investment small, because the pathway you're going to buy it either through your MetaMask or your full Python, that's going to be something that you're going to try and error, and you find it is safe, and then you should start to increase more. And for us, I mean, like if you invest into if you invest with Altive, obviously we are a licensed manager in Hong Kong, and the way that we invest into all these like private company is undergo lots of the due diligence as well. So if you ask me, obviously I would say that this is safe investment going for Altive. The second question, I guess it was related to government regulations, and that I think we can circle back to the trend free, right? So yes, more regulations coming, and if you follow the regulations, you're going to be very rich, I would say. So yes, regulation will come, and some of the entity they will go under the regulated entity, the regulated environment. They will gain more volume. Those who don't follow the regulations, potentially they will get banned in some country, for example China. And then we do see some of the crypto exchange actually evaporate because of the one country banned them. So that will happen. Then that's why I think it's very important for us to pick some of the institutions that would believe that they can follow the compliance as well as the regulations of the changing environment.
Thank you. So I have one more question for you. Because you mentioned there are so many companies doing the metaverse, private companies, and it's different to other listed company investment markets. So how, as an individual investor, no matter the interested in doing investment in those companies or working in those companies as well, so how could they do a better due diligence or the investment research as they are private?
Yeah. I think one is that not to underestimate the complexity within these private company due diligence, right? I mean, like one of the key difference between private company and public company is that most of these private companies, then the information is not public. They're not going to send financial to everyone. The assets of it, even if you want to buy, say BlockFi, for example, it's very difficult for you to find the assets. You want to buy any market brand, that's very difficult to get access. So, and that's why I think that's the key value proposition of Altive in terms of how we, one, do our due diligence, second, provide these material in a very professional way to our investor. And third, is really getting the access to buy this company and with a bigger lot. And a lot of these investment, the minimum ticket size is like 10 million US. And Altive is here to break down these tickets into smaller ticket like 100K US.
Oh, thank you so much. So how about Wes? Do you have any question or add up on top of the Hardy presentations? As I know you're also working in NFT, Metaverse, some related investment as well for your company.
Yeah, actually, for my side, because I'm a programmer, actually I will, if I do due diligence, actually I will look at the smart contract, because actually it's the key stuff to connect different wallets. So I will, actually it's a very important part. Like actually there are many blockchain auditor firms like Slow Mist, etc. Actually they are doing the important job, because when we develop a new chain or a new smart contract, actually we need to be careful, because if the hacker need to hack a smart contract, actually they need the first thing they are doing is to hack the API and also the design of the structure. And then so and also usually the designer or the developer of the smart contract is the key person, because they know everything about the contract and they develop it. So actually we usually need a third party to audit the engineering parts. So this is how for programming side, especially for my own NFT. Yeah.
Hey Wes, I actually got a question for you. Within all this exchange, which one do you prefer the most?
Crypto exchange, you mean?
Yeah.
Personally, I use Binance.
Mm.
Yeah, actually, because the scale is large enough.
Yep. I think both Binance and FTAHK is very likely to be the first few one that will compile in the US. And yes. And that's I mean, as the regulations come, that's going to be a very important element. And I think that's very smart for FTAHK to donate those money to Biden to get it.
Actually, both crypto exchange focus on different areas. Like Binance focus on retail investors. For FTAHK, they focus more on about institutional investors and also the derivatives products. So actually, if you are a retail investor, you may use Binance. If you are institutional, you may choose FTAHK. Actually, it depends what you like.
Yep. And we actually got a question from the crowd asking, how do you think about the development of stable coins? In how do you think BTC was Ethereum or VM killer? Well, I think let me tackle half of it, and then I'll let Wes to tackle the other half. Well, in terms of BTC versus Ethereum, I think it's a very different animal. BTC is basically the largest market cap coins. I think this one is going to stay. And I would say BTC on the other side, there's no use at all, except like storage of value. Ethereum, obviously, there's lots of DeFi project, or like even OpenSea is actually running on Ethereum. But then the gas fee is killing us. I mean, like the transaction cost of Ethereum is very, very stupid. They're working on the 3.0, but I guess this is going to has been a very disappointing, slow development for the last 2 years, and that's why we have all these like Ethereum killer, Solana, etc. If you ask me, I think both Ethereum and Ethereum killer will stay. I do think the development of Ethereum is going to delay again in this year. In Ethereum killer is likely to keep going for this year. Next 2 years, I do think there the uplift of Ethereum is going to be more on the positive surprise, and then probably that's that the performance would trend will be quite different. Wes, what's your view?
Actually, I'm from the user view. I use, because I'm making the NFT in OpenSea. Actually, we put the NFT in Ethereum, so I'm the user. For me, why I choose OpenSea, because I think it's the most liquid NFT platform so far, and though there is some problem like the gas fee problem you mentioned, the gas fee is floating actually. In weekdays, it is in weekdays US time, the gas fee is more expensive, but in weekend the gas fee is less expensive. So when you upload the NFT or make some changes in Ethereum, you may make it in weekend. Yes, we can. And then to me, I think Ethereum may lost some market shares to Solana, because the speed of Solana and also the gas fee is more competitive. And so my plan is, if you are a user of NFT or you are a developer of NFT, I think you first may, your NFT need liquidity. So may choose NFT, may choose OpenSea first, and then you need to put the NFT in Solana afterwards. So this is the plan, how to do a NFT business. Yeah.
Sounds good. So I think there are more questions here. You mentioned we invest into FTS and there are some secondary market shares selling at discount. Yeah, that the transaction has been closed already. If you're interested to know more, please register an account in altive.com. I keep saying that. So and then I think the gas fee part we talked about it is so there are. There's a question about Discord, what it makes it stand out in the Metaverse chain. I think one of the key things that we learned about in the crypto era is that, hey, BTC after all is nothing special about BTC. It's not the most efficient coins, but it is the most popular coins, and that's why it becomes so valuable today. If you look in the Discord, well, all the NFT, I would say all the NFT that I see in the market, the community is maintained on Discord. So this thing is going to stay. I mean, I just see more people that get into the market will use Discord instead of inventing another communication system. And I guess obviously on the technical side, how Discord is having like separate server for all this like communication, how they support live chat during the games, how they got the system implanted in the game chips. All these things is going to help them to be very successful, and that's why I guess that's the reason why Microsoft actually previously want to acquire it. Cryptocurrency has a high correlation with public market. Is it not a good investment option to go against the rate hike or inflation? I guess well, I will put it that way, right? On the rate hike, that anything the market can fall. But if you ask me, the ultimate underlying fundamental of cryptocurrency is actually the usage of those coins or those cryptocurrency. So if we see more usage or more or increasing popularity of cryptocurrency, I do see as a structural trend, cryptocurrency is in the bull market. Well, I'll leave this one to you. Wes, how do you judge if a cryptocurrency is valuable or scam?
Actually, I think depends on the liquidity and also the usage of the crypto. And I think that actually, if the utility is huge, the demand is huge, I think it's not a scam. But for some very tiny or small crypto, actually you need to be careful because there may be rug pull situation, like the founder may get away, get the money and then run away. So actually, I think that the ecosystem need to be here to make sure the coin is here and valuable. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Chinny, maybe you should get feedback from you as well, because I know you're actually running a coin project. So how do you think what's the best way to evaluate whether a cryptocurrency or crypto coins is what we call a shitcoin or whether it's real?
Thanks, Hardy. Hi, everyone. My name is Chinny, also a co-founder at Altive. I'm now driving more like the crypto effort by leading a internal token project. I'm actually a blockchain Ethereum layer 2 project called Atom. Exactly echoing like Res, our project is a DAO wallet to avoid rug pull. So rug pull is a very serious issue. Like 2 days ago, there was another rug pull by Atom protocol, and a few weeks ago, Wonderland. It almost happens every day. So I guess like blockchain is real, Web3 is real, given that we see fundamentally how it really changes not just the financial system, but overall human society on how we define trust. Like in the past, like if like anyone working in the financial industry, you know how many people we are actually supporting in the middle back office on all those transactions, all those documentation, just to make sure things go right. Because we can't totally trust somebody. If the trust issue can be solved at the really fundamental database level, after all, blockchain is a database. I would say like from a commercial bank perspective, there should be at least like 3 to 4 layers of middleman institutions should be gone. And half of the bank's function shouldn't be there. From investment, it's almost like the same, or like on what we are doing, like DAO, we somebody see it as the future of like VC, because like if you set up a DAO, then you don't need a company, you don't need fund admin, you don't need custodian, you don't need bank account. It's like 4 layers of like middleman gone. So that's why we're totally bullish on blockchain, the technology. We are totally believing in the future of Web3 application will almost reproduce what we see in Web2 again on Web3, but in a more decentralized and trustless manner. Personally, I believe in Ethereum, given it's already such a big ecosystem with most developers working very hard every day on it. And given the innovation we see from NFT to GameFi, people are really pushing for more out of finance applications. So as a guy working in the financial industry for quite some years, I was skeptical of Bitcoin. I was skeptical on blockchain because like if it's just within the financial industry, it seems like in Chinese like a 炒美龙. It seems like something like really speculative. But then when it can finally step out of just financial application or just investment application, I do see a lot of real value creating out there, and real value would be captured by something, most likely by the tokens or by the ecosystem. So that's why I'm getting more pessimistic, and that's why we're also getting involved with a project because we finally see application outside of like investment. And like we were actually we just looked into another project yesterday about a payment company getting a Singapore token payment license. And then we probably all have seen another very proud Hong Kong company called Sampool getting $30 million Series A by helping like C2C transaction. So my another bet on 2022 is payment would get into our scene with crypto this year. And with the involvement of payment, crypto will get more ready to be adopted by the mass. I guess like whether it will become really something very proper is I guess the judgment is like whether like some non-investors will also hold some tokens because of day-to-day usage. If that day comes, then I guess it's the sign of mass adoption, and it would definitely be a very optimistic. And another, going back to one question a audience asked about stablecoin, my very short view is I actually don't totally believe in algorithmic stablecoin, especially those because after algorithmic stablecoin, on one hand, is like over collateralization of very volatile asset, trying to stabilize USD value with some another assets. Over collateralization could not help if that asset drops 80%, and Bitcoin would drop 80% in a day. So like the unpacking could happen. So USDC is the regulated one, is supposedly the safest one. Tether, like all insiders know, like the books may not match. My friends at DigiNet saying that like they are getting the books ready, so it should be fine. After it seems like to be too big to fail, but then if there's any hesitation, USDC should be the best option among all the stable coins.
All right, that sounds very good.
Yeah,
I guess we talk too much. I will pass the stage back to Stephen.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for Hardy, very detailed presentations. Rex for sharing for the industry practice, and Chidi at the end of the sharing, finally tell us some tips about how he managed different investment projects. And time now is 7:36. Okay, so firstly, you can see on the screen there's a Altive platform. So you may go to the website, okay, and so if you are not a professional investor, you may go to the website as well, the link in. They also update the project almost every day, okay, talking about how they invest in different projects. Also, they're frequently invited by Invest Hong Kong and Hong Kong government to do presentation because they are made in Hong Kong and they have invested a lot of overseas international projects. At the same time, if you are a younger person, okay, you may join the Western, okay, they have a Algo Challenge Associations, and they have also a made in Hong Kong platform that will allow you to do algo trading over an NFT projects over the platform. Okay, and lastly, okay, so if you are professional people working in corporate or startup owner, welcome to join our FinTech Association as well. So we have a community over 1,000 members working in leading bank, consulting firm, academic, and also staff owners. So lastly, thanks again for joining this session. So in case if you want to further contact us, you may, firstly, you will see the link here. And secondly, you can contact us by our email or WhatsApp number as well. So wish to see you all in the future events. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk again soon. Bye.
Bye bye.